Hey, what's up, good people? This is JJ here with a video about benefits of playing without pedals. And that might be a bit weird coming from me as a pedal demo guy. Playing without pedals, well, yes, I've been playing without pedals for about 2 years now, live, and I'm talking about. I use the occasional pedal in the studio, but when I'm playing live with Legendary Orchestra of Love, I play without pedals. I've tried playing with pedals, but I'm giving you this video telling you what, in my opinion and in my experience, are the benefits of playing sans pedals, so going straight into the amplifier. Number one, there's less stuff to worry about. If you're playing a festival or a band night with multiple bands on the roster and you want to be really professional as a band, what you want is you want to be able to set up really quickly. It always takes quite a while to, for the drummer to put up his cymbals and install his snare drum and all of that stuff. But for me as a guitar player, I like a quick changeover. Sound guys like a quick changeover. The audience like them too. They just want you to play, that's it. So if you don't have to hook up a pedal board, making sure all of your connections are right, if there's no dead patch cables, no power supply issues, that makes for a quick changeover and there's less stuff to worry about. Number two is, a lot of times you're just playing the venue amplifier or a loaner amplifier. If you have to set up different gain levels for your pedals in order to get them sound good, that's going to be very annoying for you and for your audience to wait for you to get your sound just right before you can start playing. Of course, if you're playing your own amplifier, you know how your pedals are going to interact with that particular amplifier, but that is not always the case. And that's why I'm saying just play without pedals, use your own amplifier to get your sound. Number three is, there are not going to be any level differences between your clean sound, your slightly dirty sound, your dirtier sound, your lead sound, your fuzz sound. Reverbs and delays, they tend to sound a little bit different going into the front end of an amplifier, so you'll have to adjust the mix settings in order to get them sound good on stage. So the differences in level between your different levels of drive that you're using throughout a set are not going to be as subjective when you're not using any pedals. So how do you get your level differences? I usually just use one amplifier set up for a pretty neat sounding ballsy gain character, and I look for a guitar and pickups that allow me to manipulate that gain level with my volume control and my tone control on my guitar and my different pickups. Number four is, you're going to be much more focused on actually playing the guitar when you're playing live. You're going to be more focused on what you're actually playing. You're going to be more focused, in my case, on singing lead vocals. You're going to be more focused on the audience. They don't like looking at your back, for instance, but they certainly don't like looking at you tweaking pedals between songs in order to get your levels right. They're not in for that. They left the house, they left the couch and Netflix to go and see your band play out live. That's a compliment, guys. They want to see a show, they want to be entertained, they don't want to see anybody tweaking pedals. Unless, of course, you're making, music that is very effect driven. Of course, then you can do this kind of thing. But if you're playing rock and roll in a rock and roll band, you're playing bar gigs, you're playing festivals, they just want to see a good show, hear good songs, and have a great time. I actually challenged the guitar player a couple of weeks back from a band that we play with from time to time, and he said, well, we don't have time for changing the amp and stuff like that. We have a really quick changeover time, that's what the house says. And I said, well, I challenge you just to use my amplifier all night. Just use the guitar's volume control. And I'd seen that band play before a lot of times, and I had noticed the level differences, the clean sound being slightly too loud as opposed to the lead sound. He was using a multi-effects unit when I saw them before. And he's also a lead singer, and I noticed that he was much more out there. He was actually, entertaining the crowd, playing the songs instead of thinking, which pedal am I going to hit next, or which setting do I need? Number six is, playing without pedals makes you more creative. It makes you think more creatively about what you're playing. There's one song from the band I play in that has an arpeggiator patch on the Eventide H9 that I used in the studio for the record, and the arpeggiator is such a crucial element of that song, but still we want to play that song live, but I don't want to use any pedals because it takes my mind off singing and performing, and it just takes a lot of the concentration away. So it makes you more creative in terms of what you're actually playing to keep the vibe of the song going without actually having to use that effect. And as for number 7, I don't really care about the true bypass, buffered bypass kind of thing, like building pedal boards, making sure there's enough buffers in it, signal loss and stuff like that. I'm really not that worried about that, because when you're playing in a band, you have this amplifier that is being mic'd up, or sometimes at a bar gig it's just, like blowing away on backline volume. The people in the audience are really not that worried about what kind of overdrive pedal that you're using. It's not that. The people just want to hear great songs, they want to hear great guitar parts, and nobody ever came up to me in 20 years saying, well, I really liked your band, but I wish you'd used a different amplifier. So bear those things in mind when you're building a pedal board. Is it going to cost you concentration on stage? Is it going to cost you precious time? How much is the sound difference? How much of your pedal board is actually a psychoacoustic effect on your brain that makes you play better? And how bad is it to get more creative in order to get your songs across without using any effects? If then you realize that you need that delay pedal, you need that wah pedal, you need the boost pedal, which I can totally imagine, only then bring those 3 pedals if they add something to the song. Ask your drummer, ask your bass player, how much do they even pick up in the practice space when you just swapped out an overdrive pedal for a better one? How often did your drummer tell you, well, the guitar sounded so much better than this? I pretty much sound the same with any drive pedal that I use when I'm playing live. I'm not talking about the studio, because then you just want to get it picture perfect. But in a live situation, give these points some thought.